Well, today we're going to talk a little bit about Filipinas and their sexuality and how the culture affects them, and just sort of the spectrum that you can expect to deal with, not deal with, but encounter when you get here. Now, number one, you have to get rid of any broad stereotypes that apply to all Filipinas. There is no one characteristic or attribute that applies to all Filipinas. It just doesn't work that way. In fact, any group, you really can't say, well, all Filipinas are this or all foreigner expats are that. It just doesn't apply. So keep that in mind. But what we are going to do is we're going to look at two major groups, maybe a little bit in between, but two different types of Filipinas you're going to encounter when you get here. And it's not good and bad, it's just different. It depends, again, on what you want and what you're looking for. Now, what I would consider to be the majority of Filipinas, and again, we're not talking about just women that you meet at the bar or women that you meet online. I'm talking about when you're coming to the Philippines and you're just running into a Filipina and you meet her out on the mall, or you meet her at the park or anywhere, just out in public, just your basic Filipino. Now, the way that the most of them are raised, even in the city, but especially on the smaller islands and especially in the province, is they're raised pretty much conservative and even a little bit prudish. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing, because part of that conservatism and prudish sort of outlook on sex is that they're, number one, it's kind of, you could use the axiom, the smaller the town they came from, the higher the likelihood that they're a good woman. It's not a guarantee, but it's a very high ratio you can keep in mind. And these women who have the more conservative, slow approach to sex, they don't just jump in bed with a guy the first night. City girls, and conversely, the bigger the city, pretty much the faster they'll jump in bed with you. And that's especially true in like Cebu or Manila. Pretty easy to get laid there. Now, getting back to what I will call the good girls. Now, they have been raised with certain, their mothers have basically taught them that in order to be a good wife, and this translates to being a good girlfriend, in order to be a good wife, to be a good girlfriend, they need to keep their man happy. They need to submit to him and let him lead in the relationship and lead the family, that sort of thing. All very good principles. And the way that it affects the sex life is that with the good girls, here's the interesting thing. Once they have a commitment from you for a relationship, which is what they prefer, they don't like bouncing in and out from guy to guy, because again, it's all part of the communal dynamic. The only thing she's got is her reputation. So the last thing she wants is to be known as a girl in the village or the barangay who dates a different foreigner every couple of weeks. That will ruin her reputation. So she wants, before she'll sleep with you, she wants some sense of commitment that you're in a relationship. A mutual, exclusive relationship, is what she prefers. You're not sleeping with anybody else. She won't sleep with anybody else. That's what she wants. So once you reach that point, and then you're in the bedroom and all that, here's what you can expect: is they are not going to initiate much of anything. The good thing is they're very compliant, demure, cooperative. They take suggestion well, and you can pretty much lead them where you want sexually. I mean, there's a few things, like for instance, like when it comes to anal, a lot of them they're kind of hesitant about it. But believe it or not, if you approach it gently and just kind of like drop it the first or second time, and then just kind of work them up into it, again, they'll do it not because they're interested in it. They'll do it not because they learn to enjoy it. They'll do it because it's part of making you happy. Okay? And that's what it really boils down to. I've heard it directly from them. they're like, well, I don't really enjoy it, but I know you enjoy it, so okay, we'll do it. I mean, literally, that's what I've had Filipinas tell me. So in everything, whether you're, and again, everybody's got their own different fetishes and whatever, but if you're into, you just want her to wear some nice lingerie, you want her to wear some nice stockings, you want her to wear, whatever, you want to, again, you want to employ different toys or vibrators or different things, you're going to have to slowly encourage and bring that into the mix. She is never going to initiate that. She's never going to ask for it. So she's basically, you can think of her like a blank slate. Even if she's been with other guys before, even if she's done a lot of these things with other expats, she is not going to bring any of that to the table. She's going to wait and see what you want. Because again, her reputation is everything. She doesn't want to let on to the fact that she already has done anal or bondage or whatever it is. So if you're just gentle and move forward with her slowly, introduce these ideas as things that you enjoy, and you want to broaden her horizons on sex and all that. That's the majority of good Filipinas you're going to run into. Now here's the thing. With some of them, the prudish Catholic outlook that they have on sex can be to the point with some girls where there is no warming them up to anything. I mean, they will not agree to lingerie. They won't agree to anal. There's certain things they just won't agree to. So, if you really encounter repeated resistance to where she's almost kind of getting upset that you're asking so much, you may have hit her barrier, her limit. Some women do just have a limit, and to us, it's a very short limitation. I mean, there's, and there's some women that just will not go past those limitations. And what you have to do is, I believe you should respect that, and then decide, is this something you can do without? Or is this something that, now you're thinking, well, gee, that blows the whole thing for me. I'm going to find a different girl. If you just absolutely got to have X, Y, or Z, and this girl won't do it for you, well, maybe you do have to find another girl. So there's that. There's that type of woman. Again, the good, conservative, I'll use the word submissive woman who is again, she's going to want to please you, but you're going to have to lead. She's going to wait. In fact, even having sex, she's going to wait until you grab her by the hand and say, hey, let's go lay down for a little while. She's going to wait in bed until you turn her shoulder and kiss her and get the foreplay going. Do not wait for her to initiate sex. She's not going to do it.